Hello friends, welcome back. Today I thought I would share a variety of different recipes with you. This first one is a peanut butter chocolate oatmeal breakfast bowl with a variety of different fruits on top. I love this, although it's probably not as sweet as I'd prefer, but that brings me into another topic. So these are post-Daniel fast recipes for those of you who are maybe off the Daniel fast. When you just go back to eating regular foods, your body's probably going to reject them in some pretty ugly ways. So I always kind of ease myself back into it, although my husband and I go further than the 21 days. Some of you only go for 10 days on this fast. So my bringing up the sweetness is sugar. So many comments were posted about Worcestershire sauce has sugar, or it has 1 gram of sugar, and this has this in it, this has that in it. I'd like to remind everyone that this is an individual fast between you and the Lord. So I've said multiple times, I allow up to 3 grams of sugar here in my house. This is a fast between me and the Lord, my husband and the Lord, and I would strongly suggest to adjust the fast that's correct for you, that you feel is safe for you, that you feel the Lord's allowing you to. Maybe He doesn't want you to eat honey. I used honey in one recipe throughout the entire fast, and I got so many comments on that. So I'm just going to share a quick story. Years ago, we were doing a fast in a church, and I was talking with the pastor's wife, and the pastor had came up and asked her, "Can we eat cornbread?" And they were on the Daniel fast. And she said, "Yes, it doesn't have yeast in it." I said, "No, you can't eat." He had walked away. I had told her, "No, you can't eat cornbread." And she said, "Well, it doesn't have sugar in it. It doesn't have yeast in it." And I said, "Well, it has baking powder in it and baking soda, and those are rising agents. So you can't eat that." That was such an eye-opener for me. Later, not at that moment, I was being so legalistic. And, the Lord knows what's a sacrifice for me. He knows what's a sacrifice for you. So I would really strongly suggest, don't be so legalistic on what other people are eating. I don't know their heart. You don't know their heart. Only God does. So I was being extremely legalistic. There are rules to this fast and you have to follow them. And it was just such an eye-opener when I realized that that's what I had done. And I'd really hope that all of us can come to that realization that this, I don't think the Lord wants us to be legalistic about what we're eating. I think He wants us to be mindful of Him and, really putting Him first above everything else in our lives, whether that be Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or your family life, maybe TV shows. This fast is about putting Him first and spending time with Him and focusing on Him and growing a stronger relationship with Him and sacrificing those things we love in food as a show to Him of your obedience. And I guess I just really wanted to clear that up. And I guess just, remind everyone that the fast is between you and the Lord, and there's only one Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit convicts us of things that we do wrong. He does not condemn us. So when we're pointing our finger at other people, you're doing this wrong or you're doing that wrong, it's not about what other people are doing. Don't worry about other people. Worry about yourself. I've had to tell myself this so many times. It's easy to start looking at other people, but there's so many Bible verses that I could bring up to you guys regarding this entire conversation, but I mostly just wanted to remind you this is a fast between you and the Lord, no one else. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Take the recipes that you feel comfortable with. If you don't feel comfortable with something that I've added, don't add it to yours. So I guess that's mostly what I wanted to say. So like I said before, this is post Daniel fast recipes. And the only reason that I'm calling it post is because some of you are off the fast now. And when you jump back into eating things that you ate before, your body doesn't exactly like it. So I would say ease yourself back into it. And like this recipe, for example, I'm using pizza dough, and it's not Daniel fast safe. However, I feel comfortable with using it now. If you don't, I would say there are lots of recipes for like cauliflower pizza dough on Pinterest, and I'm sure that there's some here on YouTube as well. So just modify it to, if you're still on the fast, use what you can, use what you feel comfortable with. And if you're just easing yourself back into eating what you ate before, or if you want to make this your lifestyle diet, it's okay to have a little bit of sugar here and there, or don't deprive yourself of anything. Then you're going to take a bigger risk of falling back into old eating habits and, binging on things that maybe aren't good for you. So there's only a couple of things that I've used here in these recipes that aren't Daniel fast safe. The pizza dough would be one of them. And actually, I'm not sure if there's anything else that I used. The tortillas that I used are corn and have white flour in them. So you can modify that particular recipe with using wheat tortillas instead, and literally everything else is completely safe for this fast. So these are really great recipes, still very healthy and taste amazing. Okay, so I really hope that I didn't make anyone feel bad about commenting or saying what you can or can't eat. That wasn't my purpose. My purpose is just to, I guess, maybe help people understand it's not about rules. God's not looking for us to follow rules. He's looking for a deeper relationship with Him. So if you're sacrificing even just creamer in your coffee, He sees that, and that means something to Him. That sacrifice that you're making to come closer to Him is what He wants. It's not about rules. So, obviously, if someone's asking you, they've never done the Daniel fast before, and they're asking you, share with them what you know. Maybe what you know is you can eat this, you can't eat that. But, make it clear also that it's not about rules. Everyone has different levels of understanding and a different growth, I guess, your spiritual growth. Everyone's at a different spiritual age. So take that into consideration. I think the only people that I would really question is if someone, and I did have a couple of people comment and say, the Daniel fast isn't a real fast. Fasting is only when you don't eat any food. And then they added, I'm a pastor, I know, or I'm an evangelist. Well, if that person was really a pastor, then they would know what the Daniel fast was. They would know what was in the book of Daniel. So that, the Bible's very clear that those people that have been put in a position of authority, he's holding to a higher standard of accountability. So I would be careful with just saying, I'm a pastor, and, claiming that authority and telling other people what they can and can't eat or do. So, be careful with that. You don't want to be held to a higher accountability if it's not, what you're really doing. So if you don't really know. So I would definitely say, if you are interested in learning more about the Daniel fast, it's in the book of Daniel in the first chapter. It talks about a 10-day fast that he did. And I guess it was more of a food restriction. And he was basically trying to prove something to King Nebuchadnezzar. So, and then again in the 10th chapter, that's when he goes through the 21 days. And yeah, so if you're interested in reading about it, it's in Daniel chapter 1 and chapter 10. So yeah, all of these recipes are amazing. I would have to say this one is my favorite. I love anything that tastes like fresh and summery, and this one does. This one, you could put this in a Buddha bowl as well instead of a tortilla, and it would be just as good. I would add black beans and corn with it, but amazing. All of these recipes are amazing. I know you'll love them. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy these recipes. I hope I didn't offend anyone. That wasn't my purpose. Of course, I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye for now.